Gaffer, it was a point last time out against Partick Thistle here at home. Obviously a tough one to take at the end of it, but how have the boys reacted following it?
Yeah, they've been great. I think they've trained really well again this week. They're straight back to work. I think I said after the game it was a good game, but when you look back on the analysis side of things, I think credit to Partick Thistle, are excellent on the day. They never gave us a minute. But I think it was our downfall as well that we never tried to play. We kept going too long, too often from Jimmy. And that was disappointing because, like I say, the last 4 or 5 games previous to that have been excellent in terms of possession and stats like that. Balls into the box, high intensity running was excellent. But on Saturday we let ourselves down and allowed Partick Thistle, who are a good team, too much respect and too much of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the defensive side of things this season, I think we're the joint third best defence in the league in terms of goals conceded. Does that make it a bit tougher, especially the way that we conceded it? Yeah,
listen, I think the defence are really settled at the moment. They've been excellent. 1 or 2 have moved out and 1 or 2 have moved in, and that's what happens sometimes in football. People get injured, people lose form, and then somebody else is there waiting to take their jersey. And I think, like I say, the back 4 and Jimmy have been very, very consistent. And we know where we let ourselves down on Saturday with the goal. We always look back games and goals that we've conceded, and we have 5 opportunities to stop the goal, and we don't stop any of them. And that's a disappointment. But you've got to give credit to Partick Thistle. They kept coming looking to get that equaliser, and like I say, in the grand scheme of things, I think in their own performance, they certainly deserved a point from the game. So in the end, I think a point was a good point for both teams. We could have won it. We've got the Moffat chance off the post, Nathan Shaw's shot, the keeper makes a wonder save, and then there's 1 or 2 blocks. But like I say, we have to take the point and move on.
And it's Ayr United tomorrow, another team in good form themselves as well. What are you expecting from this one?
Like I say every week, it's a very competitive league and a lot of good teams in this division. But we have to take strength as well, Gareth. We've only lost 1 game all season, which is remarkable in itself. We understand that we have 8 draws, but points are points in this division. They may become valuable points at the end of the season. But again, it'll be a tough game. Scott's turned a corner with his group. He's had a bit of torrid time with injuries, similar to myself, my period of time at the club. But they've came through that. They're 7 games unbeaten. They're looking strong again. But so are we, and we go there with confidence as well. We have to give them the respect that they deserve. And we go there with our own mindset that we're there to pick up 3 points. It'll be a tough game. They're very good at home, very strong at home. But yeah, I expect it to be another tough afternoon for both teams.
And another tight one as well?
Listen, I think every game in this division is tight. We've been very solid in that department. It's been very fine margins. We lose 1-0 at home to Rafe, but every other game's been very tight. And I don't see any other thing than that tomorrow against Ayr. In the time I've been at the football club, the games have been relatively close in all occasions.
And all you need to do is look back to the last game against United as well, a 2-2 draw, but you saw how well the players pushed towards the end and potentially unlucky to go and get a third. Yeah, the last game was a lot of emotion, with the circumstances that had happened, and my own personal circumstances leading up to that game. So it was a very emotional day for everyone. And we started the game very well. First half we were excellent, get a good goal through a penalty from Brophy. And then we let ourselves down. They scored 2 goals in quick succession from 2 corners, which we pride ourselves on keeping clean sheets. Again, this season we've been very good in that front. But on that day, Ayr took advantage of slackness and scored 2 goals ourselves from that point of view. But we done well to come back into the game. They had a period, second half, where they were on top. But then we get a foothold back in the game, and again, Eamon goes and scores a wonderful header. But yeah, I don't envisage anything different than a very feisty fought contest tomorrow. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. You mentioned there as well, of course, it was 2 goals conceded from set pieces that day. In terms of looking back at the game and your analysis of it, how what can you take from that match heading into tomorrow?
A lot of positives. You know, I thought on the day we played really well for the first 45 minutes. Then we had a period second half where Ayr got a foothold in the game, scored their 2 goals. That inevitably is going to give them a lift, and we're going to be in the back foot for a period of time. But I think once we got our foot in the ball again, started spraying it about, we looked a good team again. And it shows the character of the group to keep going to the death to go and get the equaliser. It was a very good ball in for Nathan and a great header for Eamon. So again, like I say, they've turned a corner. You know, they're playing with a really strong team. You know, no strikers at the moment. You know, they've got a lot of legs in their team. Playing with 6 midfielders. So I expect much more of the same tomorrow. But we have to go there with a different mindset. Get the ball down, pass the ball, open them up, and then let our better players at the top end of the pitch go and cause them problems.
And just finally, how are we in terms of squad availability and players returning from injury?
Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. Obviously, still long-term absentees at the moment. Mikey O'Halloran and Ali Crawford. Chris Moore will probably miss out through illness. He looked terrible today, so we had to send him home. And everybody else is good to go. Obviously, Keane Taylor's now back in the frame. He'll be looking to get minutes tomorrow. But yeah, we're in a good place. You know, everybody's fit, everybody's pushing each other. The tempo of training has been excellent. And like I say, I look forward to the game tomorrow. I think it'll be a really good occasion down at Somerset. They always are good, tightly contested games, and I don't envisage anything different tomorrow.